Another episode of Welcome to Texas podcast. Thank you for all the day ones, all the new subscribers, likes, comments, feedback. Man, thank you so much. It's greatly, genuinely appreciated. Seeing how everybody's out there doing. We got a few minutes to spare this Friday night. See what's going on out there today. So what do y'all think about that, man? Is it worth being a content creator based off of the numbers that they show off the analytics? Is it? I mean, this is nobody specific, man. It's nobody specific, right? But just as in general question, is it worth it being a content creator at the moment? This is not for anybody titled. No, it's just uh, would you drop what you were doing as far as your career, whatnot, your 9 to 5, to solely concentrate on content creation, man? Right? That's the thing that I would like to know. Because content creation is like you go into the unknown, man. You might hit one video and next you might not hit. It's not a guaranteed paycheck at the end of the week. I mean, I did the math right there, man. Right now they're paying what, the CPM or whatever it's called. They're paying it at $4.66 per 1,000 views. Do the math, man. I know. If you want to reach $466, you have to equivalent to a hundred thousand views, man. 100,000 views, right? Yeah, you got to take into consideration all the videos that you've done previously. Those are still going to get you views. Those are still going to, tally up to that 100,000 mark. Uh, I don't see. I don't see it beneficial, man. Honestly, to be so invested and do what people do, man. Become degenerates, lower their standards and morals, just to chase a bag, man, imaginary bag, because it's not guaranteed. Just add all the time up, man. Right? You waste 1 hour, 2 hours here, 3 hours here. And that's just the people that don't edit. I don't edit no videos. I just upload it, and whatever it goes, it goes. But there's other people that do care and take their time to edit. So that takes even more time. I've heard some people say that it takes up to a day to produce a good content video. Up to 2 days, man. I don't know if it's true or not, right? Because I just cut them up and put them out there. But I'm pretty sure if you were to edit them out and add more graphics and more pizzazz, you'll probably get more views. Hazelfield said, "Hi, how you doing, Hazelfield?" Today we're just talking about that. Is it beneficial to be a content creator now and nowadays? We're not aiming at anybody specific. Just anybody, any content creator. I know. During the pandemic, no, I was blessed to continue working during the pandemic. I didn't get laid off. If anything, I got more time. more overtime and shit during the pandemic than anything. When I was working during the pandemic, don't get me wrong, there was people, getting laid off left and right. But when you're considered an asset instead of liability, man, they'll keep you around. So I was fortunate, man, to be employed through the whole pandemic situation. As I worked on as a machinist, machine operator, machinist, and I would produce medical springs. A lot of these medical springs were in these devices that they used to, like, the people that test the blood pressure on their arm. A lot of medical devices have medical springs in it. And what they mean by medical springs, man, is that once the machine touches it and produces it, no human really touches it after that. After only at the assembly line or whatever they have to put it together. Like once I would put it in the machine would package it itself and seal it, and that was it. I used to also work at an automotive place where they do the same springs for automotives, right? Manufacture automobile parts. Those are different standards. The quality controls, you had to do it, but it wasn't like the medical springs that required less human handling. So I was happy, man. I know a lot of people during the pandemic got laid off, depending on where they were working at. I guess since I was producing medical springs, I guess in a way it was considered, I guess it needed, right? Because a lot of these are for medical devices. How you doing, Sweet Sue? A lot of them were for syringes, like the self-administrated, like the Humira medical springs. That you normally wouldn't think that there'd be a metal spring in there, but you'd be surprised on what has metal springs, man. Oh no, man. I was just talking about anything, man. If you want to talk about Mark Moore, man, I got the other channel for Mark Moore, man. Over here, man, look, I'm tired of talking about the same shit over and over, man. That's why I have that other channel, man. That other channel is strictly for strictly degenerate behavior over there. Over here, man, it's just gonna be shit to shoot, man. Like right now, my topic today is just, is it worth it, man? Is it worth it? I'm not, throwing names out there. I'm not saying, this dude, that dude. No, man, I'm just in general. It's just, is it worth it being a content creator, man? For somebody, let's say a truck driver, somebody that's putting them the miles, or even maybe has his own rig and picking up and unloading. Man, for example, man, I used to know a dude, right, that had his own truck, his own rig, right, but he was doing statewide moving, right, home moving, apartment moving. He worked for a company, it was called the North American Fleet something, right, where it's a big company. They would go all across the state, man, right? This guy would pick up a load in, say, Oklahoma, and then drive it up to Atlanta. Then he'll pick up another load at Atlanta, ship it off to there. So this dude, every time he'll go pick up a load, it'd be 35, 4,500, right? And he would get 2, 3 of these a day. He'll try to get 2 or 3 of these a day, right? So I would see the manifest sometimes. Sometimes he would leave the manifest around, and I'd be like, damn, this dude just got paid for this, right? And we're the ones doing the work, right? We're the ones doing the work. I'm like, but we're not the owners of the rig, right? We're not the owners of the. So For somebody that's doing payloads like that, man, you know, talking about being on the road a whole week to doing the same amount of time trying to think that you're gonna hit big, man, on this content creation, right? The oil field, man. Oil field's where the money's at, right? Hard blue collar work, man. Get paid good right there. Some people say they get paid 50, 55, 65 bucks an hour. So it's really working, man, for people. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. If people want to do content creation and as a side hustle, man, I'm all for it. But I don't see as much effort being put into it, man, as it being your solely income, right? I don't see it, right? Because I'm going based off my numbers, right? In order for me to make $466, I have to accumulate 100,000 views, right? Because if YouTube is paying me $4.66 per thousand, well, then we just add another zero to it. So, in order to make the equivalent of 100,000 views, you have to be on it, man. Right? Your content has to be some badass content to where people want to tune in. And this, how can I say, this prison, this homosexuality, it's a very far niche, man. It's a very far taboosum that people are tuned into it. Right? It's not gonna get you to where you want to go. Right? Yes, you see fleece with you see fleece with 607 Unk, right? But them guys are straggling too, man. They're waiting for the end of the month payout, right? They're waiting for the end of the month payout. It is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is. But if you're gonna concentrate on solely doing content creation and your numbers are nowhere in the 100,000 views, it kind of defeats the purpose on why you're doing it, man. Because you got to take in consideration how much time it takes away. Just do the math, man. Just imagine, I'm going to use myself as an example. Right? If I wanted to reach 100,000 views at my pace, to be able to cash out $440 at my rate, at 100 views per video, how much would I have to do, man? 10,000 videos? 10,000 videos, right? At my rate, at 100 views per video. 10,000 views, 10,000 videos. The math doesn't add up, man. And you got to take in consideration, how long does it take you to do the video? Well, however long your video it is. Plus, if you're into editing. So, the math just doesn't add up, man. Right? Just to be concentrated on trying to make a YouTube check. Honestly, man. Right? Now, if you have a full-time job and you do this as a side hustle and you're like, man, whatever I make, right? It's just extra icing on the cake, right? I'm already got my bills paid. This is shit. This is a blowaway money, man. Where the kids want to go, right? Because you got to think about it, man. This YouTube don't give nobody no health insurance. right? Then you got to take in consideration, damn, you want health insurance? So now you got to take whatever you make out of that money from monetization to cover your health cost. All right, unless you're expecting the taxpayers to do it for you. Right? Let's be realistic, man. That's even for the rappers themselves, the street dudes. Right? I didn't have fucking healthcare insurance when I was out there in the streets. How you doing, V? I'm doing pretty good, V. You know, I didn't have health insurance, man, for my kids or even for myself, man. Right nowadays, man, if you ain't got health insurance, man, you're fucked. All right? You're fucked, man. Especially if you have some long-term ill condition. How you gonna get your medication, man? All right? You gotta. I don't know if to me, I don't see it beneficial, man. Right? If you're like a single man and you're living on your own, maybe then, right? Maybe then I'd be like, oh, this dude ain't got no mouths to feed, right? He ain't got no mouths to feed. Then I'd be like, oh, fuck it, it's just him. Let him kamikaze himself, right? But then when you start taking consideration, man, on kids are expensive, man. I have an 8-year-old, right? During the day, my little grandson's here with me, right? And he's 2, so if I don't keep an eye on him, he's getting into shit, right? Then my son gets home, so now I got 2 guys running around. That in itself, 2 boys is a handful, man, because by the age difference that they're 2 and 6, 2 and 8, they still be bickering, right? They don't fight, but they bicker. And somebody has to be the referee and be like, hey, cut it out. All right? You can't just let them run wild. So, I don't know, man. You know, I look at it, I look at all the pros and cons of every situation, man. I mean, I see a lot of these dudes, man, that just get on social media, right? Some of these dudes be listening to females' music, right? Making female mannerism, facial expressions, moving mannerisms, body, and I'm like, who are they selling themselves to, right? If they talk about nothing but prison, so majority of their audience is mainly men, right? I know my channel has 1, 2, 3, 4, a handful of females compared to the majority of them being men, right? So if I get on camera and start listening to female music, mannerisms, who am I attracting, right? Who's watching my shit? So people become degenerates, man, in one form or another, right? And you see it in all genres, man, right? Especially you see it in the prison genres. Prison genres is the same story. That's like me telling my life story, right? My story is no different than so many others, man, right? Like I said, man, growing up as a male in any kind of inner city, our options are limited, right? There's 3 main outcomes for the males in inner cities. You either become a dope boy, a robber, or you just plainly become out a dope fiend, right? Those are the 3 main outcomes for us males, right? It's hard for us males for us to be pretty women, right? It's very seldom that a girl's gonna come and pick us up off our feet and take care of us. That's a fairy tale, right? The females have that privilege. They have that opportunity to where a man can come pick them up and take them out of the predicament. We don't. We have to get ourselves out of it, right? So if we have to do that as men, I don't see I don't see myself wasting so much time on social media if the money's not there, man. Maybe I understand that my content's not there and I'm not getting the views, right? I understand that, right? I understand the views, but even if I was getting the views, even if I was getting 100,000 views, it was still equivalent to $466. So now you take in consideration the time, how many videos, the electricity, uh, the time I'm away from my kids, my grandkid, my wife, doing these videos, editing. It's time consuming. For what? For $4.66 per thousand views, right? So you have to make 100,000 views, right? Like there's some people that only make 2,000 views per video, 3,000. So in theory, if you go by the math, then people have to make 30 videos to make 100,000 views, right? Yes, you can take the videos that you have previously posted. Those videos will help you accumulate to 100,000 with the ones that you continue to add, right? Yes, those will get you to 100,000. But those are stragglers. Those are stragglers, right? Whatever videos old videos, somebody might watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 views from your old videos. People want to be up to date with your videos, right? So if your videos are only averaging 2,000, 3,000 views per video, just do the math, right? So in order for you to get 100,000, you got to do about 20, 30 videos. And then you got to take in consideration how long is those 20, 30 videos going to take me? Can I do those 20, 30 videos in 1 week? Right? Because now those 30, 40 videos is only going to equivalent to $466, right? So if it takes me a week to produce 30 to 40 videos to come up with $466, I call that a waste of time. Now, if you have your full-time job and you're doing extras, hey, $466 is something. That ain't nothing, right? But if you're relying on this to happen, man, you're better off making $200 a day at a temp service, right? You're better off going to the temp service and getting you a $200 job a day, right? Because at least at the end of the week, you get you a little $800 check, right? Guaranteed, right? That you know that if you show up for those 8 hours, you're gonna get a check. So you can come on YouTube and waste 8 hours and not even get a check, right? You'll get pennies on the dollar, right? That's what I don't understand, right? For it to be your own and solely income, the math just doesn't add up for me, right? I'm just going based off the analytics that they say, hey, this is how much we're paying you for the ad right now, right? $4.66 per thousand views. So 10,000 views is $46.60. 10,000 views. So now you add 100,000 views, you're looking at a $466. Right? That's just the math. I can show you. I showed you my analytics right there. That's the current one. Right? That's the current one. I'm not saying everybody's is like that, but if YouTube is paying me $4.66 per thousand views, you can speculate that everybody else is getting around the same, right? Some might get more, some might get less, but you can speculate, damn, this is what the ads are paying. $4.66 per thousand views. So I asked myself, in order to get a check of $466, I gotta put in 100,000 views, right? If I make a video and that video only makes 1,000, 2,000 views, how many videos do I have to do to accumulate 100,000 views? Right? How many? And if you take in consideration that you're doing 2 to 3 videos a day, that's a full-time job, right? You're putting 7 hours nonstop, a working machine. At least working at a temp service, you work Monday to Friday, man. And if they offer you overtime, then they're paying you double and a half. I understand that math, right? I understand that if I show up and I clock in, I'm getting a guaranteed money, right? What I don't understand is coming on here and doing this live and expecting me to get my bills paid. It's not guaranteed that I'm gonna get 100,000 views. I have to become a degenerate, right? I have to create conflict. I have to this, that. I have to lower my standards, lower my beliefs, right? And you become a scumbag, man. You become a scumbag. You become some people that like you at the beginning, and they start seeing your true identity and they start despising you, right? Because the numbers just don't make sense to me, man. I just don't understand it, right? Why somebody would be so invested, right? Right? At the beginning, don't get me wrong, I was emotionally invested, man. Right? Out of my pocket, I was paying hips. Right? I was paying hips out of my pocket. Right? Hips was making more money than what I was. Hips was getting $50 an hour. Who the fuck in this world, other than somebody in the trade, gets paid $50 an hour? Right? I had to scavenge up them pennies to pay this dude to be able to tell his story, or else he wasn't gonna tell it. Right? I can't tell the dude, say, I pay you $10 for a story, man. You willing to do, tell me your darkest secrets for $10 an hour? But I did this under the impression that YouTube was a bag. Right? That's what I was under the impression. That's my honest truth, right? I'm like, damn, these dudes talking about this and that, woo, 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 big bank, woo, woo, woo. That these are, a certain content creator's words, right? He says, I've made more money on YouTube than what I did driving a truck. So I question those statements now, right? Because I'm like, fuck, man. I've seen people that drive rigs, right? Some of them dudes that drive rigs, even if they're weekly here, man, you're talking about $2,000 paychecks, man. Right? In-town drivers. I'm talking about local drivers, right? They're taking home anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 a week. A week. Right? These guys be making anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 a month. A month. So if you're doing 466 a week, you're doing 4, 8, 12, you're doing basically, if you're lucky, $2,000 a month. Right? Don't get me wrong. If you're a single man, with no dependents, not even a fucking dog, not even a goldfish, right? To where you got to feed this guy a few pellets every now and then, right? It's just you on your own. And if you said, man, this week all I'm gonna eat is ramen noodle soups, because you know what? YouTube didn't pay the bills, so this week I gotta eat nothing but ramen noodles. That's understandable for a single male, right? I get it, man. It's you want to live your dream as a content creator. You ain't got a kid, you ain't got a family. Okay, whatever, right? Fuck it, live your life. But if you have dependents, man, this YouTube shit would be like on the side burner, man. I'll come back to it once I'm financially stable. Come on here and just talk shit, right? And not worry about being critiqued and be like, oh man, I gotta be somebody I'm not for the views and clicks. That's crazy, right? When you look at it, I was under the impression, man, that this YouTube I don't know how the other platforms pay, right? Because I don't have no other social media. I don't have Instagram. I don't have TikTok. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Facebook. I don't have any other kind of social media platform other than this YouTube, right? I can't speak for other platforms, right? Some people say TikTok pays better. Some people say YouTube pays better. But I think it all depends on, I don't know, I guess on your views, right? On your content and the views. I mean, once again, maybe my analytics are different from somebody else, but I'm just using myself as an example, since I'm using my numbers. If I'm getting paid $4.66, it just doesn't add up, man. Right? It doesn't add up, right? Fuck, it doesn't even pay the mortgage, right? What's good, D-Town? Chilling, bro. Chilling. It doesn't even pay the mortgage, man. Like I can't leave. I'm not the type of man that's gonna be up there thinking, oh, tomorrow's gonna be a better day. No, I'm gonna make it a better day, man. Cause you know what? I'm gonna go and clock in. Right? If I'm not gonna clock in, I'm working on my own. Right? I'm working per my own. Right? I'm doing my own jobs instead of working for somebody. Right? I don't know, man. It's a work ethic that people have to earn. And once you get this, once you earn the work ethic, man, you feel so fucking proud. My biggest accomplishments, man, was putting in a good day's work, man. Honestly, man. Waking up, going to work, clocking in, and feeling like you accomplished something, man. Right? You met your mark, you met your goal, what you wanted to produce. All your parts were good. You had a good day, right? You accomplished something, man. Those were those best times of my life, man. Being in a work environment, man. You don't know how good it feels, man. You don't understand how many white supervisors have apologized to me, man. They get there and they think I'm the weakest link, right? Because the way I look, right? And the field that I was at the time. But then once they see and they get to know me and they realize, man, but you're not my weakest link, man. You're actually my strongest one. You're one of my strongest ones. And when the white man comes and apologizes to you, saying, man, I gotta apologize to you, man, because I read you wrong. And I feel bad. I said, oh, you ain't gonna be the first or the last one, Steve. His name was Steve, man. He was one of them Shriner guys for the hospitals. He would go volunteer at the Shriners. He was one of them. I can't headmasters or head Shriner at the hospitals, right? So I guess he was a religious man, so to where he judged me and it bothered him, man, because I didn't prove him wrong by shouting and screaming at him. I just showed him by my actions. So it feels good being an asset, man, and earning, putting in a good day work, man. But I also got to thank the state of Texas for that, man. All right. The biggest fear that I had, man, one of my most fearsome episodes I ever had, man, that I can say I was literally scared, man, right? Like literally scared, man, that I couldn't even pee, right? I had to pee so bad I couldn't even pee, man, right? Was catching the bluebird, right? Catching the bluebird, man. Handcuffed to a dolphin, handcuffed to an old school dolphin, right? I'm so scared and nervous, man, that I gotta pee, right? I tell old school, I said, look, old school, I gotta go pee, man. He's like, you can't wait, youngster. I said, nah, I ain't gonna wait, school, right? I'm not gonna wait, right? So I'm ready to fight this old school. He's like, come on, youngster, let's go, right? So we go to the back, we start walking, we tell the guard to say, I gotta go use the restroom. You go, all right, go. Man, it's a bumpy ride, right? It's a fucking bumpy ride, taking a piss on that bluebird. And then trying to get normalized to taking a piss with another man handcuffed next to you, right? First time experience, man. Right? It's like, fuck. I gotta take a piss so bad, but I'm so scared that she don't want to come on. Old school's rushing me. Come on, youngster. Come on, hurry up, youngster. Right? I'm like, shit, hold on, school. Right? It's an old black dolphin dude, right? I'm young, man. I'm not trying to listen to this fucking dolphin, right? I've been dealing with these dolphins all my life, right? I ain't trying to listen to him. I'm just like, you gonna wait, dude. Right? Or what else is it we gonna do? We're gonna have to fight right here, right? He just, that was the end of it. Short stories, I couldn't even pee, man. I was so scared, right? I wasn't scared of the dude. I was just scared of the unknown, right? Being handcuffed to a man and uh, wanting to pee so bad that I couldn't, man. Right? That was one of the scariest fucking experiences right there, man. Right? That I got from prison. Right? That was one of the most fear that I got right there, man. That bus ride going to Middleton. Right? And then the most thing that I got at prison was the work ethic, man. Working in them fields. Working in them fields for privileges. If you don't work in the fields, you don't get to spend your own money in commissary. You don't get to get your contact visits. You don't get no rec. So basically, you don't get none of your privileges, right? You're basically working for privileges, right? Because you're not working for no monetary gain, no zuzus or wham whams. You're working for free and for your privileges. So if you want to be able to eat zuzus and wham whams and go to contact visits, you get up and go to work, man. Right? And in Texas, picking cabbage, okra, watermelon, like a slave, right? See, not that many people, only people that work in the fields can be like, damn, it sucks, man. I can just imagine how they felt, right? Because they wake you up early in the morning and they take you out there hot than the bitch, cold, you out there working 8 to 12 hours, right? 2 shifts sometimes, right? They bring you in for lunch and then you go back out after lunch, right? So, working for free, installed a work ethic, man. That when I came out here, it was, I should have been like, damn, I should have been working all my life, right? Instead of fucking being on the streets, right? But you live and you learn, man, right? That's you live and you learn. That's why I don't see myself wasting so much time, man. Right? At this pay rate. Right? This is like working at a dead end job, man. At a fucking worse than the minimum wage. Right? It's worse, man. This YouTube content creation is like a dead end job. Because nothing is guaranteed based off your performance, man. You can show up and do videos every fucking day, and it's not guaranteed that you're gonna get the bag. It would be better to put your talents and skills to play in real life, man. That's just me, man. I mean, at the pay rate that they're paying at $4.66 per 1,000 view, it wouldn't be a smart move, man. Right? It wouldn't. Especially if I have young kids. It's expensive. I think having a daughter is more expensive, man, than having a boy. Because a boy, you can please them with a lot of they're happy with a lot of simple shit, man. Right? They're happy with the PS5 and shit like that. You can keep them content with something so simple, right? Daughters, they switch around too much, man. Right? So I couldn't see myself not being able to provide for them, man. Knowing my experience of how kids are needy, man, and how they want shit, man. right? Not only do you have to provide what they need, but sometimes what they want, man, right? And as a parent, especially as a father, man, that's your responsibility, man, right? To be able to provide the needs and provide the wants every now and then, man, right? Provide the nows, the wants every now and then, man. You don't have to, splurge on them every day. But once everything's taken care of, the bills are covered, and you have something extra, hey, you take them out, man. Tough are times are tough, man. And I see why people are still stuck at the level why you're supposed to be elevating yourself, man. Not only yourself, but building the foundation for your kids, man. I can honestly say that both my kids are doing a lot better than what I am, man. Right? And I'm happy, man. Right? You want your kids to be able to be doing better than you, man. Right? I'm proud of that, man. My daughter be going to Cancun, Las Vegas. She's going Colorado. She's traveling, man. Something that I've never done, right? Why? Because I was too busy building the foundation for them, man, right? I sacrificed the things that I did as a selfishness, man, for them to be able to have the foundation, man, right? Let them be kids. Let me worry about the bills, right? So I feel good, man, that my kids are on their own, right? They don't ask me for nothing, right? They're well off on their own, right? Based off their actions. All I did was just give them a foundation, right? That's it. But I don't see myself being able to give them that foundation if I was doing this YouTube shit as a full time. I don't see it. I honestly don't see it. I don't see it. Even if I was fucking dropping, top notch content, 100,000 views for $146 or $466, is it really worth it? This YouTube is more of it has to be a hobby, man. A hobby to where you're not expecting too much, and if you do get something for it, give yourself a pat on the back, right? Because this is all YouTube is for, man, right? YouTube turned from being entertainment to learning how to do stuff to funny stuff. Now it went from people trying to pay their bills, right? YouTube, now it went from people trying to pay their bills, their mortgage, and try to live off of YouTube. Don't get me wrong. I see a lot of people like Ashman God, these guys that got millions, and they're making it, man, right? But these guys are not just in one genre. Their audiences are from all the way around. What do I think about Iceman? I think the way they're doing about it is the wrong way about it. I don't got mad that we have rules and processes here, but the way they're going about it, man, it's just without due process, man. And you can say, oh, they don't deserve it, but at the end of the day, man, it's just like give everybody, their due process, man. Hear them out, man. Hear them out, right? If they're not worth it, if they're bad, well, then you have every right to ship them out, man. But if this lady's just cleaning somebody's house, or this guy is just cutting somebody's yard, or this guy is just building somebody's home, let them be, man, right? Without them people, this country wouldn't have got built, man, right? I'm speaking about Texas, man, right? When you look at the people that are building these infrastructures, who is it, man? If you're from Texas, When I say the infrastructure, these buildings, these apartment complexes, these houses, these roads, who is it? Who is it, man? So for you to say that immigrants and Mexicans don't play a role in today's society, that's bullcrap, man. Right? That is. But I also understand that people have jobs to do, right? I also understand that, right? As somebody that worked and paid taxes, I hate when people bother me doing my job, right? Especially when I was at working in my zone and I'm trying to meet a deadline, or I'm trying to meet, I'm trying to accomplish something, right? I hate when people would come and short talk me, or I feel like they're just trying to beat, just to bother me for I want to accomplish and make them look bad, right? So, I mean, you can look at it from every angle, man, right? You can't just look at it from one side and be like, oh yeah, they all got it. No, man, right? And for people to be like, look at Obama. Obama deported more people, man, right? But Obama didn't do it with all this ICE drama, right? He gave you a court date. Obama deported more people than Trump. But Obama gave you a court date, right? He gave you the time to go listen to you, man. That's the difference. Right? He deported a lot more people on the process that he did, and on the process that he did, you could say it's a lot slower, right? Because he's giving these people court dates. Show up on so and so date. Nowadays, this administration is just picking you up off the site, right? They picking and choosing, right? They're picking and choosing people, just grabbing them off randomly, right? I mean, I think if this administration would have did it a little bit more civilized, like Obama did it, it wouldn't be talked about so much, man. Nobody talks about the Obama, right? Everybody knows he deported more people, man, right? But the way he did it, so politics for me, man. I'm not a politics person, man. I've explained it before. Uh, Regardless of whatever president is in office, has never affected my livelihood, right? I don't work in no union. I don't work in like a automotive franchise to where, hey, we got to depend on these tariffs or anything of that nature, right? If I worked in a union and those tariffs affected me, or whatever it's called, maybe I would be more involved, right? But as a average Joe, man, that it's just so many of us that just, what is the purpose, man? Right? Uh, I don't vote. I don't. How can I say? It's hard to find people that are presidents to believe in the same thing you do, right? Shit, I want Texas to legalize it, man. Right? I want Texas to legalize it, just like every other fucking state, right? But then none of these presidents' office, they don't agree with that. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I don't agree, right? On both sides, right? So I can't just conform to and identify with, oh, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat, right? I don't identify with either one of those guys. I probably identify more with the guy that wears the boot on his head from New York, right? The guy that's just gibberish and he just throws out there shit that next year we want to send everybody to Disney World, and that's what I want to do. Yeah, shit like that. But as far as other stuff, man, per se, it's never affected me, man. Right? As far as my livelihood, right? Whatever president didn't give me my promotions, didn't give me my raises, right? Yeah, Vermin. Yeah, there you go. Vermin Supreme, man. That guy, right? I would rather just vote for that guy, right? I mean, cause yeah, he just wants, you know, the betterment of mankind. If it betters humanity, then why not, right? I I'm not for fattening people's pockets, man. Right? Trump, Biden, Barack, Bush, Clinton. Uh, Neither of them presidents did anything for me. Maybe if they gave me some kind of I don't know, benefits, man, but they don't. Right? The only benefits I get is what I put into it. If I go to work and I accumulate my Social Security within when I'm 65, I will receive my Social Security, right? But I have to work into it, right? I have to pay into it. I have to work, right? Uh, when I want to raise, you think I go ask the Trump or Biden or the president? Hey, I've been working here about 2 years, man. I think I think it's time for you to evaluate my performance and not a raise. Right? I'll probably be waiting for a response from that email for the rest of my life, right? Ain't no president gonna reply to me, right? So who do I have to direct that to? I have to direct that to my supervisor, right? He's the one that fucking dictates if I get a promotion or a raise, right? Based off my attendance, performance. Uh, have I contributed more than most, or more than what I'm? You know, am I an asset or a liability, right? Raises and promotions are based off, you know, what the company considers you, a liability or asset. I, for once, never had a problem getting a raise, man. Never. You know, and I worked at places where people said, "Oh man, you're gonna break your head. You're not gonna get no raise, right? You're not gonna get no raise, right?" But then when they know when you get a raise, right? Because you don't stop your performance, right? Your performance is what gets you the raise, right? So if you overperform everybody else, you outshine. You become an asset, man. So when you go in there with your hand out, be like, "Hey, look, I need a little bit more money, man. Look what I'm doing. Here you go. But continue what you're doing." It's that simple, man. Right? A lot of people get into the mind, they're like, "Oh, hell no, I ain't gonna do no more than what I have to. They ain't gonna work me to death." Right? Not knowing that, man, if you give the effort and show these people and not just complain, they'll take care of you, man. Right? If I would listen to so many people that said that they wouldn't give raises, I wouldn't have got a raise, man, or a promotion. Right? It's so easy to get raises and promotion when everybody's a slacker, man. When everybody's so like, "Oh, they don't give no raises here." Well, maybe it's based off of your motivation, your work ethic, buddy. You ever thought about that? It's not just about showing up to work every day and clocking in. Anybody can be a dead body weight right there. Anybody can clock in and clock out. It's based off your performance, man. So if it's based, if me, I'm using myself as an example, man. My performance, right? I don't see I could perform on YouTube, right? I don't see how, man. It's not attainable for me. I don't see it there. Based off these logistically numbers, it just doesn't make sense to me to even try to uh, sell my soul for it, man. Right? I just don't. I don't. I don't know, man. Right? Nope. I think somebody just crashed outside, man. Fuck. There'll be a lot of drunk motherfuckers right now since Valentine's gonna be tomorrow. So I don't know, man. You know, politics. I understand how a lot of people are involved in politics and they gravitate to it. Me personally, they've never had an effect on me, man. Right? And since they've never really had an effect on me, I've never really studied up on it or anything like that, man. Right? Are the pros and cons of politics? I just go based off what I believe is right, not go based off of another man's beliefs. I don't know, man. It's just when you're able to think on your own and not follow the crowd, I think life's a lot easier, man. That's just my personal experience, man. All right. I don't see perfect example, man. Handymans. If anybody that knows how to do any kind of fucking electrical, plumbing, uh, HVAC, any kind of electrical trade, drywall, painting, roofing, any of those trades, man. A 1 hour service call, man, you're making 100, 200. That's just for you to go out there, man. Hey, I got an emergency. A plumber gets called. Yeah, I got a clogged up toilet up here. Well, shit, I need an emergency. Well, shit, just for the service call, I'm going up there, man, just to see what it is. It's 200 just for me to show up. And then after whatever it takes me to get the job done, I'll tag it on. So, I don't I don't see why anybody would waste so much time where there is so much potential in actual real life to make an actual earning, man. Right? An actual, elevating, man. I don't. I just don't see why people are so invested, man. Like selling their souls and becoming characters or not, man. You got these dudes in California, right? Some of these dudes, you could say, are stone cold killers, man, right? Because they've been, charged and sentenced for unaliving people, right? You got these same guys that did heavy sentences, up in the 20s, right? They get on YouTube and they start listening to R&B, music that normally girls would listen to, or maybe, you're getting to know a girl and you go to her house and she's listening to that kind of music. She's over there lip singing to the songs and you're just there like, man, whatever, man, is she gonna give it up or not? You're just over there giving her company in her environment, right? I know as a man, a lot of men have gone and put themselves in a female's environment. What I mean in a female's environment is she has her own place. You go over there, she has her own mood. She's listening to her own music. She's drinking her own whatever she's drinking, right? And you go over there. You're not gonna go over there and start putting rap music on and fuck up her mood, right? Because her mood is more relaxed, more she's over here singing, and it's what these guys do, right? I see the mannerisms, their facial expressions, and I'm like, man, do you know that majority of your audience is guys watching? I don't get it. Right. It's like Charleston White. I think Charleston White's going downhill now, right? Nobody's really caring or paying attention to Charleston White anymore, man. Right? That's why you see Charleston White on all these little small platforms now, right? Nickeling and diming it, right? Nobody. It's coming to the point where he talked himself out. Nobody really wants to listen to no more Charleston White, man. He done talked himself out. He done played himself out too, right? That character gets tiring, man. That character gets tiring. So I don't. I don't see it, man. I don't see anybody's worthwhile this being somebody's full-time job. I just don't, man. If I do, I see the struggles, right? I see the struggles, man. I see late bills, debt, because you're loaning to pay this, because, oh, don't worry about it. Next month, I'll get more views. It's always based off next month, right? I'll get next views. And there's another dude, man, a white guy from California asking his subscribers because he was low on rent, right? Y'all cash at me, man. But then it looks like he's living in a high rise, right? You living in a high rise, but you can't come up with a monthly payment because you're thinking about next month is going to be the banger. It's a lot of these guys, man. So I'm like, y'all rather be on social media being a character instead of putting in the work in real life, man. In real life. Texas is hard, man. Texas, the fucking minimum wage is still $7.50, man. Right? I don't know how much it is in other states, but I know in other states they pay a lot more than just $7.50, man. So if other states are paying a lot more than $7.50 minimum wage, man, right? I think some states pay, depending on the cost of living, right? I think California pays more, but it's expensive living over there as well. And then some cities just ain't shit there, man. For a steady income, right? A lot of these cities, man, and states, all they have going for them is them fucking Family Dollar Generals, right? Them Family Dollar Generals or them Family Dollars. That's what's keeping a lot of them little cities alive, man. All right. But then, even then, you know, how many people can be employed at so many fast foods, so many franchises? You know, there's no really employment in a lot of states and cities. That's why so many people come to Texas, man. You got so many people coming to Texas because the potential to elevate yourself and family is there, man. Especially when people that come from Chicago or there's a lot of people that come from California, Oklahoma, Atlanta. There's a lot of people that come from all states, man, to Texas, man. Why? Because the potential to become something more than what it is in their state, they're not going to be able to be it, man. I just don't. I'm confused, man. Not really confused, right? Because I'm going based off what the people that said these statements. You know, one character said that he's made more money on YouTube than what he's ever did driving a rig. And I'm like, fuck, man. That looks pretty good numbers, you know, based off of, you know, people that drive rigs. And then I do the math on my numbers and I'm like, fuck no, man. Put me behind the wheel any day. Fuck, if that's the case, I'd rather just do Uber or some shit like that, right? Uber or DoorDash. Fuck around, you probably make like what, 100, 200 bucks a day doing that shit or something. I mean, do that. At least you know that you click on that order, you're gonna get paid something, right? Not guaranteed that you upload a video and you're gonna get the views you're expecting. It's just too much what ifs, man. I just couldn't. As a man, having mouths to feed, this just couldn't be my only source of income, man. Right? I mean, breeding dogs. I mean, that's breeding dogs. My daughter was gonna breed them Simfix cats, them skinless. She paid, man, fucking. She paid some money for the fucking male and female cat, right? Uh, Too much for her, man. Right? Too much. She couldn't. You know, you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna get these two animals and it's gonna be easy. No, man, that's twice. That's twice you have to feed. That's twice the litter you have to buy. That's and if it's a cat that causes damage to your house, cats like, man, fucking clawing shit, man. So it's like you have to look at the investment, man. And out of that, you know, they only give out so many litters, right? And then the deformities, and it's just too much. It's not really worth it, man. Right? It's not really worth it. Other than really having an honest 9 to 5, man. I respect the 9 to 5er, man. I I respect them dudes, man, because I've been at both ends. I've been a street dude, and I've been uh, how easy it is to get money. It's not easy to get money because you live with the paranoia, right? Paranoia, it stays with you for the rest of your life, right? Paranoia, that's the cost of that business, right? Paranoia. Anybody that's been in that business will tell you the outcome is paranoia, right? It's just people think that it's easy, but it's paranoia, man. It comes with the lasting effect, right? And I've been a working Joe, right? Half of my life street, half of my life working Joe, right? So uh, I can speak on both sides, and I respect the 9 to 5 worker, man. Right? Especially coming from being a street dude, because you're like, man, I gotta come in here and clock in for these little short hours and just make whatever they're paying me, right? But you're content because you're like, hey, it pays the bills and you ain't gotta worry about nothing, right? You ain't gotta be looking over your shoulder. So I've experienced both aspects of life, man, to where I understand that people have not really experienced maybe just one, right? One or the other. Some people get stuck, man, right? Some people get stuck still living that street life at 40 something years old. I would say, perfect example, Mark, right? Some people get stuck, man, right? That don't elevate, don't evolve, right? You got a 50 something year old man, uh, bad health condition, and still claiming Damu and still trying to do teenage things, right? Some people don't elevate, man, right? I could have been a 50-year-old Mark, right? I could have been a 40-something-year-old Mark, right? No family, no stability, nothing to grasp onto, nobody really give a fuck about me, right? Burned all my bridges with my family. Now it's just me and whatever fucking animal that wants to keep me company, right? Dog, cat, chicken, roosters, whatever other fucking animal, right? That's a sad, pitiful life, man, right? Some people get stuck, man. I'm glad that I was able to elevate and evolve, right? So I have respect for the working class man. Regardless of whatever you fucking do. You work at a fast food restaurant flipping burgers, I respect you, man, right? I respect you, right? So I don't get it, man. I couldn't see myself being so invested in this shit, man, right? Like to as far as being it for the money and saying solely purpose is for the money, right? Because the money's not there, man. As much as you want to think that it's there and say, oh, it's there, I don't see it, man. Right? I don't see it for it can be like, damn, you're right, man. Let's all get together and scheme and plot. Why not put all y'all's fucking heads together and scheme plot for the positive, man? And just say, hey, man, you know what? What can we do, man? Hey, let's put our money together. Hey, you want to do merch? Do any of y'all have any equipment to do merch, man? No, y'all gotta go source it out, right? I don't get it, man. It's like if I had a group of people that were scheming and plotting, I'd be like, damn, how can we get money, man? Man, what do you do, bro? Or what do you do? Or what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And then I'd be like, shit, if we're all gonna be in this fucking room together, let's all use what we're good at to our advantage, and let's get paid somehow, right? Let's just become a fucking construction crew or something, right? You work over there, you work over here, and let's work our states and say, yo, start a handyman business, right? Where you at? You over here in this state. You okay? Well, let's put it together and create a website to where people from everywhere can reach out to. Use your mind for something possibility. If you have all this scheming and plotting in you, man, I just don't see the headache of the scheming and plotting, right? The breaking your head with so very small outcome, man. Right now, if I seen right now that it said that for 10,000 views I'd make $440, I'd be like, damn, that's badass, bro. You know, because you can make 10,000 views, you drop a couple of videos. If you're making videos, right, you can make that 440 easily. If you're getting 10,000, but the way the math is looking, it's like, I don't see, well, I do see it because there's people doing it, right? But I just don't comprehend to why there's so much other potential that you could be making that's guaranteed money, right? Having one channel, it's a headache. Having multiple channels, man, now you're fucking doubling, tripling your workload, right? So for what? And don't forget that once you do, you have to start breaking everybody off. That helps you, right? So that pie just continue. If that pie is already small, everybody else gets to get their hands wet, right? Everybody else is going to have their hands out. They're already going to be expecting that, right? They're already going to be expecting that, right? Because everybody gets paid on a certain day on YouTube, right? People that get paid on YouTube, they know they get paid every certain day, right? On a certain day they get paid, right? At the end of the month. So if you're paying editors, people, co-hosts for your channel, it has to come out of that, right? Because that's what everybody else does. Look, at the end of the month, once that YouTube check comes in, you know, we'll split up the dividends. You know, that's why you see Fleece and these guys doing videos for like a whole month, man. Because then they split it up. Whatever they get for that month, they divvy it up, right? Whatever the percentages they agree on, right? They might tell them, look, for this month, if you signed a contract, whatever we get off for this month, you'll get 25%. But you got to do content every single day, right? And they'll sign off on it, man. Because like I said, if you push the videos out there, hey, you can probably make, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month, right? And then you break it off, and you know, you give him 2,000, you know, 25%. You keep the rest for you. For, you know, somebody still has to pay the content house, right? Somebody still has to pay the rent, the light, the food, right? The vices. That's why you see that's why you see Unc smoking them fucking nasty ass roaches, right? That man's fingernails are all burnt because he's smoking them roaches to the end, right? Them fingers are all burnt because, you know, he's trying to get his money worth out of it, right? He don't want to see no roach. He want to see nothing but ash, right? He's smoking that shit till his lips burn, and then he's through with it, right? That tells you, man, like, damn, you know, he's budgeting, right? They're waiting to the end of the month to cover everybody. So, man, this YouTube shit is wild, man. You know, I see it very beneficial for one man, and then once you bring a team into it, it's less beneficial for the main dude, man. Right? It honestly is, man, because it's not like the money's coming in to where you can disperse to everybody, man. It's not just there. It's just not there. Right? It's just not there to be able to do that, to be able to keep everybody happy. Right? Nobody, if there's 5 people and there's only 8 slices, somebody's gonna go hungry, man. Right? Not everybody's gonna get the equivalent, right? Because the dude that paid for the pizza, that ordered it, he's gonna feel entitled to, you know what? I need more than just one slice, right? And then whoever felt that they put more money into it said, nah, I need more than one slice, right? So then that leaves everybody else uneven. How you doing? How you doing, Rita? Oh, today is I just noticed that. You're right about that, Rita. Today is Friday the 13th. I just barely noticed that. I didn't even. I know I can remember that shit back in the day. That was, the kids would talk about that shit every day if it was Friday the 13th when I was in school. But as an adult, this shit's just another fucking day, man. I didn't even know. I didn't even know, man. It tripped me out. Right? And I got a kid, and they're not. I guess they're more into brain rot nowadays. So I don't know, man. I just don't see with so much potential, man, that there is, even as a motherfucking aluminum scrapper, man. But then again, I guess if there ain't no aluminum to pick up, man, then you can't be an aluminum scrapper, right? I guess it all depends on what there is to do, man. Right? You know, I'm blessed to live in a state that jobs are endless, man. You know, there's no reason why somebody here in Dallas can't find a job, right? There's jobs left and right. I just don't see I don't see how anybody here can go on unemployed. Here, there's so much opportunity from left and right, man. And I know this from experience, man, that a lot of these companies will bring you in with no experience, man. They will bring you in with no experience, and as long as it's up to you with your work ethic, they'll hire you, man. They'll hire you and train you, and they'll give you the tools to succeed. I've experienced it, but it all depends on the person, right? And that's just the honest truth, man, right? I know in other states it's difficult, right? So I can't be like, oh, you know, you should be able to go get a job left and right. You know, not that many states are as privileged as Texas is. You know, I don't know how many other states is like Texas were, but Texas has a lot of outsiders coming in. Yeah. Jobs are everywhere. They're everywhere. Anything you want to do, man. That's what, anything. I've never, man, when I came out of prison, the only job that I could find was working at a golf course. That's the only job that would hire me, man. It sucked, right? Because I got out of prison and everybody would, let me see your ID. Well, you just got out. You have to wait 5 years. You have to wait 3 years. right? I'm like, what do you mean I have to wait 3 years? What do you mean I have to wait for a fucking job? She goes, yeah, you're just a convicted felon. You know, no employers want 5 years or less. I'm like, what do you mean? So I'm like, you're telling me I have to wait 5 years? Some would tell me 3 years, 2 years. Like, no, you have to wait. These employers want people with clean records, right? So one temp server said, hey, we got a golf course. I said, fuck it, man. At that time, I had just got out of jail, and my first son was about to be born, man. All right. When I shacked up with my baby mama, she already had a kid, right? So if I wanted to be in her life, I had to get a job, right? So the only job that I was hired for was for the motherfucking golf course, right? Working with nothing but illegals, man, right? Nobody spoke English but me. Nobody could communicate with the fucking foreman that was a white man, all right? Since I was the only one that could communicate with them, my first day on the job, he gave me a golf cart, and he goes, look, you're gonna go from hole 8, from hole 1 to hole 16. I can't remember if it was 16 or 18. Right? He goes, you're gonna go from hole 1 to so and so, and you're just gonna even out the everywhere there's sand. I just need you to go even it out, go in circles, even it out, right? And I did that job, man, right? And I had all the paisas, Mexicans or Honduranians, Guatemalans, they were all feeling some type of way, right? Because that job was like a coveted job, man, right? I had a little golf cart, right? I didn't have to be walking the golf course. These guys had to be walking with their tools and going from hole to hole, trimming trees, cutting bushes. I was privileged, to get the golf cart with the fucking machine on the back, pulling it and leveling out the sand, right? So, I mean, but what helped me was working in the field of Texas, man. Working in Texas prison. Working in the field, working in the heat. To when I went to work the golf course, it was cool, man, because I'd be smoking, man. Golf courses are big, man. Golf courses are big, right? So once I got the hang of it, man, I'll take my doobie, man. I'll be rolling and I smoke, and since that was out in the air, nobody cared, man. So for me, it was a lovely job, man. Right? I knew what hole I could go to where nobody was going to be at. So I was always trying to outbeat the crew, right? So I would be like 2-3 holes ahead, right? So there wouldn't be nobody. So I would use it to my advantage for what I wanted, man. So, I mean, I don't see myself. I don't see myself, man. And some people would say that's a fucking minute. They didn't say, man. I had just got out of jail and I needed to provide, right? And that I needed to provide for my baby mama, her daughter, and for my soon-to-be son, right? So I needed to do something. I didn't want to go back to prison. So I decided to get myself, work myself up, man. Going from temp service to temp service, to temp service to temp service, till I found a job that kept me around, that, believed in me, and I was able to succeed in life, man. And I thank them for that, right? They took a liking to me, and they trained me, and they gave me a lot of knowledge that I didn't have, man. I know how to do a lot of things as far as electronics. You know what I mean? And that's based off to them giving me the opportunity, right? So I don't see myself where there's so many potential, man, right? So much potential to be earning a good living, and I just don't see it. I don't see it, man, to like the stuff that people go through, right? The doxing, all that, the endangerment of life, right? To me, it's not worth it. I just don't see it, man. Right? I don't see it. I honestly don't see it. There's not a price on anybody's life, man. Right? On anybody's life. Right? On anybody's life. Right? But YouTube conflict, social media conflict has ended a lot of people's lives, man. And then when you look at it and you're like, damn, these dudes were, you know, fuck, the money's not really worth it, man. You're not even going to make money to make bond, right? You're not even going to have money to make bond because you catch you a traffic ticket, you go to jail. Who's going to make your content for you, right? You get taken out of that content mix, your family collapses, man. The pressure gets put on the partner, the wife. The wife gets overworked, and you know what? She starts venting to coworkers, right? She starts venting to coworkers, and by the time you know it, you're getting kicked out, man, right? Because you're too busy concentrating on being a content creator, right? Because that's what a lot of these content creators, man, they push the workload on the females, right? The females go to work, right? While they stay there chasing their dream of being content creators, right? Yeah, they try to please the female by rubbing their feet and cooking for them and trying to tidy up the house, right? And thinking that you tell them you love them and you try to, satisfy them to try to keep them around, thinking that as long as you give them the pipe, they're satisfied. No, man. And females want some of that pressure off of them, man. You don't know how the females got to be putting up at work, being told what to do, being made feel some type of way because they have to. If they don't got to do it, they can't depend on you because you're too busy chasing your dream as a content creator, right? What happens then? She starts venting to the co-worker, man, I'm stressed. I've been working overtime. That dude don't help me. He's just in there doing videos left and right. The kids need this. The kids need that. His birthday's coming up. Fuck. The more kids you got, that means every month seems like a birthday, right? And birthday parties are expensive, man. Or at least if you want to treat your kid to a party, right? You're looking at least $500 to $1,000, man. Right? And that's just treating your kid to a fucking Chuck E. Cheese or some kind of fucking one of these, events, right? You're gonna spend anywhere from $500 to $800, depending on how many kids go and how many parents and whatnot, right? So the more kids you got, you're like, fuck, man. Every month seems like every other month I have to do a birthday party. It's just too much. Seems like not all the needs and definitely no wants are being met, man. If this is your career, right? At least going to work, you know that if you put in those 40 hours, man, you're guaranteed to make the same amount of money. That's life, man. You go to work and hey, I put in 10 amount of overtime, I got this amount of extra. I got to pay this next week, I got extra, right? But YouTube doesn't give you that benefit, man. It doesn't allow you that freedom to be like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go splurge on this because next week, YouTube's good. I'm gonna drop 3 banging videos and they're gonna pay me, right? Now you're just going on a fucking real blind of faith, right? Instead of saying, you know what, man, I'm gonna go give me a job and clock in, and during the time that I have, if these 3 videos bring me to success and take me to the next level, well then I'll start working on it, right? But if you're continuing to chase that dragon and continue to keep on thinking that it was like the pandemic, those days are over with, man. Those pandemic days of social media, of people getting bags, it's over with, right? People should have started noticing that last year, right? And started making adjustments, but people go back to their old routines, right? Instead of evolving, man, evolve somehow. Evolve some way or another, man. Don't just go back to what you know, because that's the easiest thing to do, right? And at the end of the day, if you're on your own and you're a single man, single woman doing that type of shit, don't get me wrong, live your dream. Échale gas, you know what I mean? Give it all you want. But if you got mouths, and I say mouths, you know what I mean, with the S, man, hang up that dream, man, and do what you got to do, and show social media, be like, look, man, check it out. This is me over here. This is what I'm doing. I'm up. Check it out. This is what I got going on. Not just, content that's not going to get you nowhere, man. People are now into in real life stream, right? People want to see what you're doing, man. People want to see how you live. People are interested in your daily day, man. What do you do every day? Where do you go? Damn, you eat fast food every day, right? People are interested in that type of shit in everyday life, man. Right? People want to see that's how, not fucking prison in this type of genre, right? This genre, which is like the prison genre, and it's a very far small niche. That's why you see a lot of these dudes that started off in the prison, they don't like do something else. They just don't get stuck in the prison genre, right? They do skits, stupid shit, you know what I mean? But they still talk about the genre, right? And I say characters like I don't watch them, but you see them every now and then, right? Like that dude, JD Delay, right? I'm pretty sure he started out his channel nothing but prison. Now he's doing all kinds of other skits and shit and videos and reactions, and he's not just in that genre, right? Because being in this prison genre is just one prison story is basically all the same, man. Right? It's the differences are there, but there's no different. It's like no different than me telling you my street life. Somebody that lived it's going to be like, oh man, you did the same thing that I did, right? You experienced and you went through. If I tell you what I went through, I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody that's going to be able to relate to it, right? And be like, oh man, yeah, you did that, you did this, you experienced that. I'm pretty sure there'll be somebody that'll be relatable to. So I just don't see myself, man. Right? Like I wasted right now an hour and a half, man. An hour and a half, right? An hour and a half, I could have fucking watched some TV. I could have watched some educational YouTube videos. A lot of people say that these aliens are coming, right? But then when you look at the logistics and the way the world works and how far the planets are, fuck, man. And the energy you need just to get from here to the next planet or to the next star, it'll be generational, man, right? It's not even worth talking to comprehend that aliens can't travel, right? It's impossible, right? And we're never going to be able to travel to the next thing because it's just we don't have the sources to get there, right? Fuel or whatever kind of energy resources that we have right now takes up space, right? And the bigger it is, the more fuel you want to get to a further place, the bigger it has to be. So can you imagine the spaceship you would have to be just for the fuel, right? Just to be able to travel 100, 200 light years, right? So it's so much other stuff that I could be learning about society and the world and the Bible, you know what I mean, to try to get an understanding of why we're here. Instead, I'm just down here talking, inventing. Right? But this one, I feel comfortable with this one, man, because this one wasn't too much about homosexuality, man. Right? I'm trying to get away from. That's why, if y'all could, man, go subscribe to that other channel, man. For I can stop talking about all this, mark more on this channel, man, and just talk about whatever I feel like talking about, man. And whoever wants to listen, they can listen, right? And ain't nobody's forcing y'all, nobody's paying y'all. I do appreciate for the ears. That's why I always thank y'all in the beginning. A lot of people probably think that it's some kind of gimmick or something. No, man, that's just to show my gratitude, man. Right? To say, hey, man, thank y'all for, wasting y'all's time. I'm pretty sure y'all have a lot more other important things to be doing than to be listening to a dude, right, talking nonsense, right? So I appreciate that, man. That's why I always start off my video thanking the audience. It's not just to bamboozle y'all or try to be like, oh, you do, it's just courtesy, man. And that's why y'all go subscribe to that other channel, man. Once I get to the 50 or I'm able to do lives over there, I'll do lives over there concerning about the Mark Moore. People can, tap in over there and talk about that one. Once I'm able to do lives over there, like I said, I'll probably do a free giveaway of, like $50 to somebody. I just got to figure it out, but that's the game plan. It's not going to be, nobody has to, other than subscribe and that's the only thing somebody has to do. So it's not like, oh, you're going to have to pay $1 or some shit like that. No, it's just once I'm able to do a live on that other channel, I figure out a way how to, give somebody, I guess not in a raffle, but in a giveaway type of situation. I'll figure something out, right? To be able to put somebody or anybody that wants to participate in that, figure it out, and somebody who wins it. So, and that's just to show my gratitude, man, because I really just want to do the lives over there, leave this channel alone for a minute. Don't know what I want to do with this channel. I know for sure I don't want to be talking about the homosexuality or any kind of shit like that anymore, right? I think I've already had sufficient of it, man. For me, it's like that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna stop working behind the scenes on what I'm doing, right, on Lamar, right? But I want to distinguish both of them, right? I want whatever I do that's pertaining to Mark, and I want to present it to y'all. I want to do it on that channel, right? So let's say I have breaking news. I have a lot of news, but it's not for everybody to know, right? And if I do tell y'all are not gonna believe me. So what's the point, right? I'll go back to point A and telling y'all, believe me, and then y'all are gonna be like, prove it, and we're just gonna be going back in circles, right? So it's like, it's better for me to just know what I know, and when the time is right, I'll present it to y'all. I don't know what matter or how I will, but I want to do it on the other channel, right? So that way I can get away from it on this channel. So thank y'all, everybody that's been listening, coming through. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it for those 8 likes. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, man, because tomorrow is it's if you have a spouse or a significant other, man, it's their time, man. It's not for you to be on making lives and making videos, but it's not worth it, man, right? Because there's memories last forever, man. Memories and good times can never get taken away, but working yourself for something that I'm not gonna say it's unattainable, but it's damn near, what you have to do for it, man. All right. So that's just my opinion on if it's worth it, being a content creator, man, at this time and age. I know the pandemic was a whole different situation. I know during the pandemic, a lot of people were tuning in and listening to all kinds of people, man, right? people picked up their subscribers, picked up their views, and people were able to, financially pay stuff. But after the pandemic, the views gone down. People are a lot less interested in the content that's being produced. You know, especially with the homosexuality, man. Like, and I experienced this firsthand when I told it to like a producer or what's it called? Not a editor, a, a person that does marketing for books, right? That sees something, they'll be able to produce it into a book, or I can't remember what her name was. I know her name, but I can't remember. I have to go through my emails, right? And she's like, man, that documentary you sent me was nothing but low grade gay porn, right? So in reality, she does have the truth, right? It is low grade gay porn, right? In any kind of way you want to look at it, right? That's what it is. So I really want to get away from that on my channel. So that's why I created that other channel over there, so we can talk about that stuff over there on that channel, right? On this channel, whatever my mind freestyles or whatever I feel like venting or discussing, if y'all want to stick around and listen, hey, I ain't got no problem with it, man. All right. So thank y'all. Enjoy tomorrow. What do y'all think, man? Y'all have a good one.